A pleasant day, everyone. A 2021. So, good day, everyone. Again, welcome to my class again. Before we start the proper discussion, how's everyone doing? Are you guys feeling good today?
Yes,
Good,
sir.
sir.
Okay, that's good to know. So, again, welcome to my class. I am Sir Michael Ramos. So, next slide, please. Next slide. So before we start the discussion, again, to our class rules, the first one is to listen attentively. The second one is click your virtual hand if you want to answer the recitation on the activities or on during the discussion. And the third one is to open your camera to monitor your engagement. Next slide. So for our motivation, we have here a quotation, nouns and verbs are the guts of the language. Beware of covering up with adjectives and adverbs. Sunrise. I know this is kind of deep. So, kung ano lang maisip nyo, what are your insights about this quotation? Nouns and verbs are the guts of the language. Beware of covering up with adjectives and adverbs. Anyone? Yes, Miss Chian Agape. What are your
Um,
thoughts?
my thoughts about that is the use of nouns and verb is essential in any language as they form as a backbone of a sentences. However, overusing the adjectives and adverbs can often hinder clarity and effectiveness of communication.
Yes, thank you. You have precisely have a point about that quotation. I'm in awe that you really get the quotation. So again, the quote nouns and verbs are the guts of language. Beware of covering up with adjectives and adverbs. So this quote emphasizes the fundamental importance of nouns and verbs in effective communication. So sa context na noun and verbs are the guts, guts refers to the essential core of or vital components of language. So nouns represent the names of people, places, things, ideas, while verbs express actions, states, or occurrences. So together, ang noun tsaka ang verb, they form as a foundation of a sentence. So noun and verbs are very essential thing in a sentence. Without that two, we can't be able to have a more in-depth sentences and more interesting way to construct a sentence. So while adjectives and adverbs naman suggest that excessive use of descriptive verbs that can be obscure or dilute the clarity of impact of a message. So basically, the quote encourages us to prioritize nouns and verbs rather than the modifiers that we call adjectives. So yun lang. So next slide, please. So for our topic for today, it is the types of noun. Next slide, please. So noun. Can anyone please read what's on the screen? Yes, Mr. Halina.
Noun. A noun is a word that names something such as person, place, things, or ideas. In a sentence, nouns can play the role of subject, direct object, and indirect object, subject complement, object complement, a positive or modifier.
So thank you for that comprehensible reading, Mr. Halina. So noun again, basically it's like a naming word that helps us identify and describe the people, objects, and concepts around us. It's like a branding when we say noun. Without noun, without the noun we cannot identify who are we referring to. Without the noun we cannot classify the verbs. Without the noun we cannot classify the adverbs. Without the noun we cannot classify, and we the adjectives cannot stand alone. So noun basically serves as the building blocks of sentences, as they often function as subjects, objects, or kaya nga dyan sabi sa screen, direct object, subject complement, appositive, or modifier. So that is the significance of what we call noun. So next slide, please, for the types of noun. We have here, first one is the common nouns. Can anyone please read? Yes, Miss Ira.
Common nouns, these are general names for people, places, or things and not capitalized unless they begin a sentence. Example, dog, city, book.
Yes, thank you for that, Miss Ira. So, common nouns are the type of noun that represents general, non-specific people. That's from the word itself, common, okay? Or ideas. They don't refer to any particular individual. They don't refer to any particular things. They don't refer to a particular book. So it is very generalized, not specific. So that is the common nouns. And just like examples here, a dog, city, a book. So what kind of dog? What kind of city? So do you get it, guys? What common noun is?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so next we have proper nouns. Proper nouns, these are specific names of people, places, or things, and always begin with capital letters. Examples would be the Mary, London, Harry Potter. So proper nouns, from the word itself, proper, the nouns are being placed in proper way. The nouns are being placed in accurate and proper way. So it is very opposite, no, sa common noun, kasi sa common noun general siya, and in proper nouns we are talking about the specific names of people, places, things with capital letters. So that is the basic definition of proper nouns. Like Mary, Danica Giga, Maria Pamplona, that is what classic example of proper nouns. Next slide, please. So next we have the concrete nouns. Can anyone please read what's on the screen? Yes, Miss Carpio.
Concrete nouns, these nouns refer to tangible and perceptible objects that can be experienced through the senses. Example, table, flower, music.
So concrete nouns, these nouns is tangible. When you say tangible, it can be seen, it can physically touch. So examples would be the table, flowers, and music. So next, abstract noun. These nouns denote intangible concepts naman, or ideas that cannot be perceived through the senses. So examples here are love, happiness, and knowledge. So concrete nouns and abstract nouns are different in a way that concrete nouns are referring to tangible, while abstract nouns are referring or denoting to intangible things. Abstract nouns, like it more focuses on feelings of a person, like love. Uh, can anyone please give me an example, a sentence for abstract noun, using abstract noun? When we say abstract noun, again, it denotes intangible concept or ideas that cannot be perceived through the senses. Anyone? Yes, Mr. Halina.
Again po,
What give me a sample of sentence that denotes abstract noun. I guess Mr. Halina have a problem, internet interruption. So let's have Miss Carpio.
Love knows no bounds.
Yes, exactly. It is. Thank you, Miss Carpio. Let's have Maria Pamplona.
Love is in the air.
Hey, indeed, love is in the air. Yes. Yes, let's have Mr. Sulia.
Ano, love is the most twisted curse of all.
What? Again? Love is?
Love is the most twisted curse of all.
Oh, okay. That is very different from the other two. Thank you, Mr. Sulia. I guess Mr. Halina have some is raising his hand.
Okay.
Do you
We
want
can
to
take
add?
ex-
Yes.
another example. Their love for each other grew stronger with each passing day.
Okay. Thank you. So, what have you observed? Why do you think the word love is what we call abstract noun? Because what? It expresses ano? Yes, Sulia. Mr. Sulia.
Basically, this cannot be sense. The word love, we cannot see it, we cannot taste it, we cannot hear it. So that's why it is an abstract noun.
Yes, exactly. Yes, Maria Pamplona, do you want to add something?
To make it short, love is just a concept.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you. Yes, abstract noun again, basically it expresses emotions and tangible concepts or ideas. So, next slide, please. Next, we have countable nouns and uncountable nouns. Can anyone please read the what's on the screen? Yes, Miss Carpio.
Countable nouns. These nouns represent objects that can be counted as individual units. Example, apple, chair, car. Uncountable nouns. These nouns refer to substances or concepts that cannot be counted as separate units. Example, water, air, advice.
Yes, thank you for that comprehensive reading, Miss Carpio. So we are now at the last two types. So when we say countable nouns, they refer to the things that we can quantify or enumerate individually. For example, book. Miss Carpio is holding his book. So it is quantified as one, right? Because we are saying about the book. Um, because we can count the number of books we have or refer to specific books using like numbers like one book, three books, and such. So, uncountable naman, they cannot be divided into individual elements. Uncountable nouns refer to something that we see as a whole or a mass. Examples of countable nouns include like water, sand, knowledge, happiness, and furniture. Um, for example, the amount of water that he carry is um basta yun. That is uncountable nouns. So can anyone please differentiate what countable nouns and uncountable noun is? Basic difference of countable nouns and uncountable nouns. Yes, Mr. Halina.
Uh, from the word itself, countable nouns basically nagbibilang or it can be measured. And then, on the other hand, the countable noun can be measured or it can't. Yeah, that's it.
Yes, precisely, Mr. Halina. So that is the main difference of countable nouns and uncountable nouns. Countable nouns is something that we can quantify or enumerate individually, while uncountable, basically we can't be counted or separate in units. Next slide, please. So question time. So what we have here, um, number one is how does a proper noun differ from a common noun? Give examples of each. Proper noun and common noun. Can anyone please answer the number one? Yes, Miss Ira.
A proper noun uses capital letter and indicates specific names or things, and etc. While the common noun is in general and it doesn't use capital letters.
Yes, precisely. When we say proper noun, just like Miss Ira said, it always capitalize at the first sentence, first letter. So when common noun, it doesn't give specific name of a person, things, and such. So thank you for that, Miss Ira. How about the others? How does a proper noun differ from a common noun? Okay, let's skip. How about the number two? How do nouns contribute to the structure and meaning of a sentence? Can anyone please yes, Miss Agape.
Basically, noun contributes significantly to the structure and meaning of the sentences because they serve as a subject and object of the sentences, and it helps to identify who or what is doing action or receiving actions because without noun in sentences, will not be able to convey a meaning.
Yes. Thank you, Miss Agape. That is the correct way of saying that. Um Nouns is very vital in a sentence. It is what gives essence or a more in-depth to a sentence. Noun is also serves, just like what I've said earlier, nouns serves as a building block of a sentence because it refers to subject, direct object, subject complement, and such. So that is the significance of a noun in structure and meaning of a sentence. Thank you, Miss Agape. How about the others? What is the significance of noun? What do you think is it is contribution to the structure and meaning of a sentence? How about you, Mr. Sulia?
Okay. The significance or the contribute of noun in a sentence structure. The same with Miss Agape. It is to identify who is the one who taking an action, because if we refer to noun, it is only to the person who is taking the action, which is the verb.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Sulia. Yes, do you have anything to add, Mr. Halina?
So basically, noun serves as the building blocks of a sentence, and it determines their structure to convey a meaningful sentence block. Yan lang.
Yes. Yeah, it precisely it serves as a building block to a sentence because it serves totally like on the definition provided, it serves as the subject. Um we cannot um we cannot give the significance of sentence without the noun. We cannot identify the color or in-depth of the sentence without the nouns. Okay? Do you guys understood what noun is and significance of it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Next slide, please. So for your activity one, construct two examples to each types of noun and underline the given noun in the sentence. Write it in a yellow paper. So that would be next week na. So kindly do it um in yellow paper. Do the instructions clear, guys? Class?
Yes. Po.
Okay, so next slide, please. So for your assignment naman, for instructions, read each sentence carefully and identify the types of nouns present. So kung aware kayo what are the types of noun on this discussion, so you can be able to answer this assignment. And this will be also next week. Next slide. Okay, guys, thank you for that discussion. Thank you for your participation on this class again, as we have all talked about nouns and the types of it and the significance of noun. Thank you, class.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Have
sir.
a